Hello students, in this lecture number 12, part number 12 of unit number 1, which is probably the last theory lecture of unit 1, we will cover the last point, impact of jet on moving unsymmetrical chord plate tangentially at the tip with series of radial chord blades. Okay, so this is the last point, jet striking a series of radial chord vents. Now, what do we mean by series of radial chord vents? The radial chord vents, which are unsymmetrical, these are installed on the periphery of a wheel. Okay, actually there are two peripheries. This is inner periphery of a wheel and the outer periphery of a wheel. So between these two, the radial curved unsymmetrical blades are fixed at equidistance from each other, right? The nozzle is provided over here that will supply the water jet with absolute velocity v1, and the water is directed to pass through the passage between the two consecutive curved vents. So as the water flows, it will enter at the outer periphery between the blade passage. So entrance is at the outer periphery and it will flow towards the inner periphery of the wheel. So that is the outlet exit of the water at the inner periphery of the wheel. Okay. So this becomes the inlet tip of a vane and this becomes outlet tip of a vane as per the direction of flow of water. Okay. The outer periphery radius is defined as R1 and inner periphery radius is defined as R2. R1, one subscript for inlet of a fluid, two subscript for outlet of a fluid. Okay. As usual, as the wheel will start rotating, it will have peripheral velocities which would be different at the inlet tip and peripheral velocity at the outlet tip. So at the inlet tip, the peripheral velocity of the vane is called as u1. At the outlet tip, peripheral velocity of the vane is called as u2. Okay. V1 is absolute velocity of jet produced by the nozzle and it is supplied at angle alpha with respect to the tangent to the wheel at the inlet tip. Okay. Now the net effect of V1 and U1 is the water will effectively enter with the relative velocity VR1, which is tangential to the vane at the inlet tip. So water will enter smoothly and tangentially with the relative velocity as the magnitude over the inlet tip of the vane. It will glide smoothly over the surface of the vane and will exit at the outlet tip of the vane with relative velocity VR2. So this is relative velocity VR2 tangential to the vane at outlet tip. This VR2 makes angle phi with the tangent to the vane, tangent to the wheel at the outlet tip. Okay. Beta is the angle made by absolute velocity V2 at the outlet, right? So by joining these points, vertices, we complete inlet velocity triangle and similarly outlet velocity triangle. As usual, these are VW1 component. VW1 is the component of velocity V1 in the tangential direction at the inlet. Here there is VF1 component of velocity. It is the component of absolute velocity V1 in the direction normal to the tangent to the wheel, and it is known as flow velocity at the inlet. Similarly, at the outlet we defined VW2, the whirl velocity at outlet VW2 as a component of V2 in the tangential direction. Similarly, V of 2 is defined as a flow velocity at outlet, which is a component of V2 in a radial direction, which is normal to tangent to the wheel at the outlet tip. Okay, so we consider a series of radial curved vanes. So it is a case of a wheel mounted on a wheel. The jet water impinges upon the vanes and the wheel starts rotating at a constant angular speed. Let omega represent the angular speed of the wheel. Let R1, R2 represent radii of the wheel at the inlet and outlet of the vane respectively. Okay. See, this is a radial inward flow for a given wheel system. There can be a situation where you can have radial outward flow from inner to outer periphery. So whatever may be the entrance and exit locations, R1 is fixed. R1 is always defined at the inlet. R2 radius is always defined at the outlet. Okay, in entire TMC subject. Now, as the vanes are situated radially around the wheel, what happens is the peripheral vane velocities or the peripheral blade velocities at the inlet and at the outlet tips of a vane would be different. How? Because peripheral vane velocity at inlet, suppose U1 is equal to omega into R1. Okay, omega is angular speed of the wheel, R1 is the radius at the inlet of the wheel. Similarly, the peripheral vane velocity or tangential velocity of the blade at the outlet is U2, that is equal to omega into R2, angular speed into radius at the outlet, right? The flow system is inward or outward depending upon whether the jet enters the outer periphery or the inner periphery. This I just now explained. Okay. The inlet and outlet triangles are drawn with the same procedure as explained in earlier lecture and shown in the figure. Now, the mass of water striking per second for a series of vanes case is nothing but the mass of water issuing from the nozzle per second, right? So, for a series of vanes, the mass flow rate of the water supplied in a jet is nothing but rho A V1. Okay, rho into Q, and Q is calculated as area into velocity, but the velocity here is absolute velocity of water at the inlet, so that is V1 for a case of a series of vanes. If it is a moving vane, if it is a single moving vane, then the velocity is taken as VR1 in the calculation of mass flow rate. Okay, the unit will be kg per second. Now we define the linear momentum of water striking the vanes in tangential direction per second at the inlet. Okay, linear momentum of water at the inlet, that too in tangential direction, means tangent to the wheel. So that is nothing but a product of mass flow of the water into the velocity of the water in tangential direction. Mass is a scalar quantity, but the velocity of a jet is a vector quantity. So this linear momentum is calculated in tangential direction to the wheel. Okay, the tangent has been shown here. This is the tangent at the inlet in this direction. This is the tangent at the outlet. okay, to the wheel and not to the vane. So the mass flow rate is rho a v1 into velocity of the water in a tangential direction is nothing but the whirl component Vw1 at the inlet. So this is linear momentum at inlet, rho a v1 into Vw1. Unit will be kg meter per second. Vw1 is nothing but v1 cos alpha from the trigonometry of a IVT, inlet velocity triangle. So component of v1 in tangential direction. Now having known linear momentum, we can calculate angular momentum. So angular momentum of water per second at inlet is nothing but it is a product of linear momentum of water at inlet multiplied by radius of wheel at the inlet. This product gives you angular momentum at the inlet for a water. This is equal to linear momentum is rho a v1 into Vw1 into radius at inlet r1. Its unit will be kg meter square per second square. Similarly, the linear momentum of water at the outlet of the vane in tangential direction is nothing but mass flow rate rho a v1 into the whirl velocity component at outlet in the tangential direction, that is Vw2. This is equal to minus rho a v1 into Vw2, where Vw2 is nothing but v2 cos of beta. Okay, you have to see the OVT, outlet velocity triangle. So Vw2 is v2 cos beta, component of v2 in tangential direction. And you can note the negative sign is taken as v2 velocity at outlet is in opposite direction to the rotation of the wheel, because it is in towards the leftward direction. So the angular momentum per second at the outlet is equal to linear momentum at the outlet, this one, multiplied by radius at the outlet, r2. Thus we write torque exerted by water on the wheel as a very basic formula of a torque exerted by water on the wheel is nothing but rate of change of angular momentum of the water as it passes through the wheel and not outside the wheel. Okay, rate of change of angular momentum of water through the wheel while passing through the vane passages. So it is nothing but initial angular momentum per second minus final angular momentum per second. This gives you the torque exerted by the liquid on the wheel. So unlike force case, formula of a force, there we have initial velocity in x direction minus final velocity in x direction. Here we have angular momentums. So this is equal to rho a v1 into Vw1 into r1 minus rho a v1 into Vw1 into r2. So minus minus becomes plus, and rho a v1 can be taken constant. So this is rho a v1 into Vw1 r1 plus Vw2 r2 in the bracket. This gives you the formula of a torque exerted by water on the series of radial vanes. That is the case of a wheel. Unit will be Newton meter for the torque. Once you know the torque, you can find out the work done per second on the wheel. So it is nothing but work done is on the wheel is nothing but torque acting on the wheel into angular speed of the wheel. Torque into angular speed of the wheel, T into omega. The torque is given as rho a v1 into Vw1 r1 plus minus Vw2 r2 into omega. Okay. Now here positive sign is taken because beta is less than 90 degree in our discussion. That is all into omega. So omega will go inside the bracket. So you have rho a v1 into Vw1 into u1 plus Vw2 into u2. Omega is the product of sorry, omega is the angular speed. So omega into radius gives you peripheral velocity at inlet and outlet, as u1 is omega r1, u2 is omega r2. So work done unit is Newton meter per second. Now case number 1. The above expression is applicable if beta is less than 90 degree. It is an acute angle. So if beta is less than 90 degree, the sign will be positive in the formula of work done. Case number 2. If beta is an obtuse angle, so beta is more than 90 degree, there will be a negative sign in the formula of a work done. Work done per second is rho a v1 into bracket vw1 u1 minus vw2 u2. Third case is if beta is equal to 90 degree, vw2 becomes 0. The discharge is radial at outlet of the wheel, and work done is given by rho a v1 into vw1 u1. So thus general expression for the work done per second on the wheel is given as rho a v1 into vw1 u1 plus minus vw2 u2. Finally, we define efficiency of the radial curved vanes. So that is eta vane. It is defined as a ratio of work done per second by the jet by the water on the wheel divided by kinetic energy supplied per second. So numerator is rho a v1 into bracket vw1 u1 plus minus vw2 u2 divided by kinetic energy is 1/2 into mass flow rate, that is rho a v1 into v1 square. So cancel the rho and a from numerator and denominator, also velocities. This is the formula of efficiency of a vane, of a wheel system. That is nothing but 2 into vw1 u1 plus minus vw2 u2 upon v1 square. You should remember all this logic of derivation so that you can remember the formulae which are required for solving the numericals. Okay, thank you.